Okay, very good. Good to see you all. Thanks for being here. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, glad you're here. Thank you. Need everybody on board. Okay, we'll get everybody together here. Well, we landed at the Paducah Airport, but it's a little slushy over there, okay? There's plenty of ice on the runway. So, you want to make sure that the landings equal the takeoffs when you're flying an airplane. So we wanted to make sure that was done right. And I want to thank everybody for waiting and being here. And I really want to thank everyone from the bottom, I think, of the hearts of all the people of Illinois for the courage shown by the people of Brookport and of Massac County and of Southern Illinois. A bad thing happened. A deadly tornado in November took 3 lives, 3 wonderful people. And I went to their wakes. And I think it's very important we remember their lives, their purposeful lives, and ask God to bless their souls. And it's important that we work together as a family to rebuild and recover. That's what Illinois does all the time. The people of Illinois, that's our strength. Men and women, 13 million strong. When something bad happens anywhere in our state, we've got to be there to help our neighbor. That's really what our faith teaches us. And that's why yesterday, as you may know, we had appealed to the Federal Emergency Management Agency to give federal relief to the municipalities and the counties of Illinois that were hard hit by this tornado. Earlier today, we were up in Washington, which really was hard hit. They lost over 1,000 homes. And the people there, just like here, came together as a family. And we wanted to help the municipalities and the counties with federal money. Well, there's a formula that they have that's set in law. This isn't a fair formula to a state like Illinois, because we're a big state and we have a lot of big cities. And the formula, we feel, is unfair to a state with rural areas and big cities. And it's not just us, but maybe some of the other big states around. And so we appealed, and Senator Durbin and Senator Kirk and the representatives we have, congressmen from our state, all appealed to FEMA to change their formula. But you got to pass a law to do it, and that isn't going to happen right now, at least. And we hope it happens sometime. So when they made their decision late yesterday that they're not giving any federal money to help Brookport or Massac County or any part of our state that was hit with those tornadoes, because we lost 8 people altogether statewide and had all kinds of damage all over. Who ever heard of tornadoes in the month of November? We had more tornadoes in November than I think in the last 100 years. And so obviously this was unprecedented. And so what we decided to do, and I gave the go-ahead for it, is we're going to spend our state money from our accounts that we have, and we'll hear from some of our department heads here, to get Brookport, Massac County, and all the other communities in Illinois, Washington, New Minden, Diamond, and Giffords, all those communities just like here were hard hit by the tornado and the debris and everything that was caused. We've got to get back on our feet. We've got to help people make sure they go forward in life. And that's why we authorized, as Governor of Illinois authorized, $45 million to help this community and communities all across Illinois get back on their feet and recover fully from that tornado. So what I want to do now is bring forward someone who has been on the front end of fighting any kind of natural disaster. As you know, in Southern Illinois, the day I got sworn in, we had an ice storm that lasted 8 days. And then next year, they had a horizontal hurricane, they called it, across Southern Illinois. Who ever heard of that? We've had floods. We've had other tornadoes, as you know, in Harrisburg. We don't want to have locusts this spring. But we're strong, and we're never giving up. We always come together as a family to get back on our feet, and that's why we want to invest in Brookport, Massac County, and all the communities across Illinois. We understand when people have something bad happen in their lives, we help them out. And so without further ado, someone who's the head of our Illinois Emergency Management Agency who's going to be helping coordinate $45 million investment, and that's John Munkin. Come on forward, John.
you so much for being here. You know, eventually people are going to figure out when they see me it's usually bad news. But in this case, it's actually here to deliver good news. As the governor mentioned, what we saw back on November 17th was historic. It was unprecedented. And what it called for and what the people of Brookport and everywhere across Illinois deserve is historic and unprecedented assistance from the state. And that's exactly what the governor has instructed me and my fellow agency directors here to put together for you. So this is going to be a long process, as you already know. This has been a hard fight just to get to this point, to help folks recover in this area, and we're committed for the long run. We're here to make sure that it gets all the way done, to make sure that people can recover their homes, their property, that governments can be really reimbursed and made whole again because of all the expenses that they incurred. So we're going to look at really a comprehensive program from my personal perspective from emergency management. We're going to help out with some of those public assistance expenses that you had for debris removal, emergency protective measures, all the overtime and personnel costs incurred by fire departments, police departments, and everything else that was necessary to make sure that these folks were kept safe and their property was protected. And it's really a comprehensive program, unlike anything that we've ever been able to administer before. And that's really credit to the leadership that the governor has demonstrated in making sure that he said, hey, if we don't get that federal assistance, we need to be ready, and we will make sure that these communities can recover. So that's what we're here to do. I really have to give a lot of credit to all the local officials that helped us out in this process. You've got a great team of people that are here to make sure that this is done the right way. There's been terrific communication with all of the organizations that have been brought to bear to assist, and there's just a lot of credit that's due for local police, local fire, and local government doing an excellent job in every step of this process. So we're here today. We're going to be here for the rest of the time that it takes to make sure that everybody's made whole, and we certainly look forward to working with all of you as we get through that process. If you want to see all the information that's out there right now, go to ready.illinois.gov. That's where the program is outlined in greater detail. It'll tell you each of the agencies that are participating in this process. It'll give you points of contact. We've got several folks that are actively engaged in it, but if you need a single point of contact to get to, all that information is listed on the website, and every community's got one person in state government that they can reach out to, hold on to, and make sure that they're getting what they need. So thank you very much for your hospitality as always, and I'm glad to be here to deliver good news and not just bad news. So thanks, everybody.
Well, I want to make sure that we take good care of our roads. Obviously, in order to get to work, to church, to anywhere to shop, you got to have safe and sound roads and bridges. That's the job of our Secretary of Transportation, the very first woman ever to hold this office, a very important office for our whole state of Illinois. She's here today, and that's Ann Schneider. Take it from there.
You know, when an event like this happens, it's really horrific. And for those of us that when we hear about the first reports coming in, I can tell you it kind of shakes you to your foundation. And it takes a really strong leader to really set the course to help us not only to respond and recover, but also to rebuild. And that's what we have with Governor Quinn. He has been on top of this since this happened back in November, and he has stayed in constant contact with us agency heads, making sure that we were doing everything we could from our end to help the recovery effort and now to help with the rebuild effort. And because of that commitment and leadership and compassion that the governor has shown, we are committing up to $10 million through the Illinois Department of Transportation to help communities like Brookport rebuild their infrastructure so that they can continue to thrive economically and hopefully to help the residents get to where they need to be in a way that is safe and can really help them with their lives moving forward. And because of that, we are fortunate to be able to invest under the direction of the governor in the community of Brookport to really help you rebuild here. And I just want to close in saying that I want to say God bless all of you for all you've been through, and I really have to salute you for your efforts in really putting it to rebuild this community and make it strong again. Thank you.
We also want to thank, they're up in Springfield today in the legislature, Senator Gary Forby and Representative Brandon Phelps, who, as you know, were with us several times when we were here before. and they're helping us every step of the way. We have a department called the Department of Community and Economic Opportunity, Commerce and Economic Opportunity, and their director is here today. We've got to make sure our businesses, everyone has a good way forward, and Adam Pollock, come forward and talk about it.
Thank you very much, Governor. I want to follow on the Governor and what my fellow cabinet members have said, and I think the message here today is that we stand by you. Illinois is a family. We take care of our communities. And those communities that are hard hit by natural disasters, whether it's tornadoes or floods or whatever else may come, we're going to be there for them, standing by them. And I think that's the clear direction from the Governor. He understands that a community like Brookport, it's the fabric of our economy. It's the backbone of our state. And we have to make sure that we rebuild and invest to make sure that a community like Brookport comes back stronger, or as strong and stronger than it was before. So that's why DCO is committing millions of dollars to help local governments rebuild building infrastructure that was damaged by the tornado. Millions of dollars for low-income residents to rebuild their houses that were damaged by the tornado. Funding for folks to keep on with the ongoing cleanup efforts, and funding for low-income residents that are working with high energy and heating costs. So we're going to be there. We're going to be investing with you. The Governor understands this. That's just a portion. We've all come together with an unprecedented package to make sure we get the job done. We're going to be investing with you, rebuilding with you. We're going to stand by you, and then we're going to stand up with you. Thank you.
Well, I do want to salute a man who's a pretty strong man indeed, and that's our mayor of the town of this. You're here with the county, Mayor, and I know you had an accident there, a car accident, but we're glad you're out of the hospital, and we're real proud of all the people of Brookport and of Metropolis and Massac County. Everybody helped out when it counted, and so it's real important that we salute those who are first responders and who came together. I want to salute our police chief here, Larry. I'm sorry, Larry, you want to say a few words? Come on forward. John, I'm sorry, John. Yeah, okay, and I know Larry Bush is going to say a few words later. Why don't we do it this way? Come on forward, John, because you're somebody who symbolizes what the first responders are all about. You're here when the danger is most crucial, and we have to have people like yourself to help the people out. So take it from there. On behalf of the city.
Thank you, Governor. On behalf of the city of Brookport, Mayor Claper and the rest of us, I thank all of you for the way you've stepped up and helped us from the beginning in a time of need. I don't have to reiterate a lot of things. We all know what we've lost. We all know what path we're on. We all know where we're at in the recovery program. But our main emphasis is on our infrastructure and our survivors of this storm. To put this town back to its, not normal, new normal. Places we want to go, places we have the ability to go now with the assistance of the state of Illinois. Just a couple of points that were kicked out here to me. As most of you locals know, we're running community cleanups for the next 4 Saturdays. These community cleanups, the emphasis on them is not only the personal property that needs to be done so we can rebuild, but the city property so we can put this city back in a shape where people want to come back and put it where the infrastructure is able to be done. We have our first stick-built house being put up just 2 blocks from here. They were pouring the foundation and that when I left on Sunday for Springfield. We also have one of our first modular homes that was brought in just a block west of that. And we have several residents I know that have left, have got disappointed, got disgusted with the city. We weren't moving fast enough to them. But we also have residents that have purchased homes that were totally destroyed, and they're now buying homes and coming back to the city of Brookport. On behalf of all of us, I don't want anybody to forget what we've been through. I want them to understand we're on the road, but we're a long way from being back to where those of us that live here and take part of this town and work hard to make it what it is. We don't want people to get more disgusted and to walk away. This is the first step of what we've all been predicting for several months now. We've been through all the trials, all the tribulations for the monies to help us out, because this city has spent a lot of money we had, but we don't have now. You know, tomorrow's payday, and I'm hoping we all get paychecks. We'll see what happens. But with this step here, with this package put together, and our share of it is going to be amazing relief to this town.
Amen.
I mean, we've got projects going on the rebuild side from the long-term recovery committees and everything else, that this is going to be unbelievable relief for us. But like I say, we lost 47 residents completely. We need to build this town back to where everybody wants to live in Brookport. Bring Brookport back to where it was 25 years ago when I came down here the first time. And one other thing I want to throw out there, as all of you know, we run one of the only 4th of July celebrations in Massac County. We're the only one that still has a 4th of July parade. Everybody runs fireworks, everybody does their thing. But this year, we're having a full 4th of July celebration with a parade at 10 o'clock on the 4th, Friday the 4th, as well as the Brookport High School reunion will all be the same weekend. So we're hoping everybody will come back and see what we've done between now and
Amen.
the 4th of July. And those of you that take as much pride as I do in this town will be impressed.
Amen.
Well, I want to thank Chief Barr for his commitment, and he mentioned the Long Range Recovery Committee, all those who are part of that, Massac and Polk counties, the Brookport City Council, and I know Mayor Billy is here as well, Mayor Billy McDaniel. I want to thank Billy. He picked me up at the airport when we came on that day after the tornado. Appreciate you being here, and we should thank the First Baptist Church and Pastor Lazier. Very, very important that we had our faith community part of the team, getting everyone back and moving forward. We also want to thank the Delta Regional Authority. I was in Washington a week or two ago. They did provide some resources for us as well. We're part of the Mississippi Delta, and it was very important to get their help when we really needed it. And I want to thank Bill Stanhouse of our department for helping there. The City of Brookport Maintenance Team, and Donnie Henson and Jimmy Bailey, thank you very, very much. And my good friend Cheryl Vandervoort from the Community Development Planning Coordinator, thank you for being here, Cheryl. How about the Red Cross? We really, really are generous. Red Cross getting help. I think it's real important we have that. And we also have the Shawnee Development Regional Planning Commission, Southern 5 Regional Planning Commission, Southeast Illinois Regional Planning Commission. We got to plan and make sure that the resources we're investing go the furthest for to help the most people. And we do have a special announcement. I kind of fumbled a little bit there when I was going to call Larry forward, but I think we should always save the good news. The gospel means good news. So we're here to spread the gospel, okay? And somebody who has good news is from the McCormick Foundation. We got something from them, and it's the Southern Illinois Community Foundation that's the recipient. And Larry, why don't you come on forward and say a few words about that?
Thank you.
Okay?
Good afternoon. Governor, I would like you to know that the people of Brookport and Ridgeway have done a fabulous job of organizing the recovery committee. This is not easily done. The Southern Illinois Community Foundation raises money for such things as this and a lot of other projects, but I'm here on behalf of the McCormick Foundation as well as my own foundation. And we have $230,000 to give to you. Almost $250,000. Not as many zeros as some of the other folks, but the good news with the money that I will be providing is that you get to spend it. And based upon Harrisburg, we can leverage this in many ways, Shawnee Development Group and so forth, that top out various projects that don't have quite enough money. So I think you can stretch that a long way. We're still collecting money. So if you go online to southernillinoiscommunityfoundation.org, you will be able to give money to this very project. And I would like to pump it up well over $250,000. Now, the governor doesn't know when the next disaster is going to happen in Illinois, but you can bet it's going to be in southern Illinois. Seriously. We have Ohio and Mississippi, earthquakes and tornadoes. Something like 80% of natural disasters in Illinois are right here. We need to continue to organize ourselves better. And I want to talk to some people on the committee. What would you tell the next group? What do you wish you had done before the disaster that you can share, and we would like to spread that word throughout southern Illinois? I think there are a lot of possibilities there, and we can do better next time, and we're still working on this one. So, Southern Illinois Community Foundation.org, continue to let the money flow.
Now, Larry, who do you donate the money to?
The Recovery Committee.
So if you make a check out right now, it goes to the recovery committee, is that it?
Well, I don't bring my check though. I say you have, absolutely.
All right. I'll give $100.
Okay, fantastic work. I will do so.
Okay.
I will do
If
so.
it says Larry Bush, he's in Rio de Janeiro, we know he's.
We know 100 wasn't enough.
We'll find it.
If I talk longer, then you put another zero.
Yeah. I'm not like that guy on the other side who's got $1 billion. I don't have that.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any questions here from our, let's let our folks in the press go first here. You guys have any questions? Oh, here we go. Okay. Oh my, let's see. A signed T-shirt, and this is, this is from me, I guess, to, where's Kathy? Where's Kathy Taylor? Oh, right here. Here you are, Kathy. Okay, thank you very much. Yeah, I really appreciate you doing what you're doing, and everybody here doing what they can. Everybody does a little bit. And you guys have any questions? Well, wait, okay, right here.
How will you decide how much of that $45 million will go to Brookport and Massac County?
It's going to be determined by need. You know, I saw the devastation in Washington today. They were just demolished. It was very fortunate. The tornado, you can say it's fortunate, it came on Sunday morning when so many folks were in church, because they were able to go to the basement of the churches. And none of the churches were hit, believe it or not, but all the homes, as far as the eye could see, were demolished and devastated. There was a little boy, I had him come to the State of the State a month or so ago from Washington. He told his mom, he was only 6 or 7 years old, you better get down here right away when he heard the sirens. And she was saying, I'll be down in a minute or two, honey. He said, no, they told us when you hear the sirens, you got to come right away. And so she did, and moments later, the entire house was blown apart. So it really shows, you know, the nature of the devastation here and elsewhere. Each department that we have from our state will invest money to help people get back on their feet. So we don't want to leave anybody behind. Our philosophy is everybody in and nobody left out.
Governor Robert with Channel 6.
Yeah.
You say determined by need. Is there sort of going to be an application process then, or how will that?
Well, this is government-to-government assistance. We're the state government. We know when it comes to helping our local governments, it's going to have to be our state that does it. And so we'll work with each government, Brookport, Massac County, everyone that's involved, and determine what the needs are. And then we have this fund of not only the transportation, but we have Illinois Housing Development Authority involved, so they deal with housing. We have community development. You heard a little bit about energy assistance and utilities. I think it was said earlier by the chief, it's important that people have hope. You want to go forward, and you got to have faith. And most of all, you know, love is patient, love is kind, and love never fails. That's what we believe in here in Illinois. that we have to make sure we take care of our neighbor, and that's part of faith, hope, and love.
Second question, how soon then will this?
Right away. We've already authorized this. I was hoping we'd get a decision from Washington that would get federal money. Basically, the law of the federal government, it sets a formula that's very unfair, I think, to big states like ours. Senator Durbin and Senator Kirk are sponsoring legislation to change that. But until that happens, we're stuck with a formula that's not fair, in our opinion. So we're going to have to deal with it the way we always deal with it. We were in Harrisburg a year or so ago, and they had a terrible tornado there. Worked with the Southern